Welcome to Truly Heal and setting up your home clinic or your ozone clinic at home. Now the first part that you need is an oxygen bottle. And oxygen comes in two forms, medical oxygen or industrial oxygen. Now industrial oxygen is used for welding. So if you go to any kind of gas supply and you order welding oxygen, then that would be the same as medical oxygen. They're filled from the same reservoir, just the bottle. One is steel, the other one is aluminum. One doesn't have any paperwork associated. The other one, when it's filled, how often it's refilled, how it is cleaned, so they keep more track on those medical bottles. The content is the same. So when you get industrial oxygen, look that you get quite a nice new bottle with nice seals up on top where everything is clean, and then that's absolutely fine. Now, when you order from Australia, your connector looks like this. It's screwing inside the bottle. When you order from US, it's different. This part goes into the bottle and then this screws over the top. And every country has slightly different DIN norms. So they all use different. So what you can do is when you get either of the two and they don't fit, like in Czech Republic, they have different ones. What you can do is you take with the screw, with the wrench, you take that front piece out. And once you take that out, you just replace it with your piece that fits from your country. And that's what we've been doing so far. If we didn't fit, like the Germans have a different connector again, you just take that front part out, get from your shop supply, from your welding supply, you get the proper connector, screw that in, seal it off. You know, it's just one of those Teflon tapes, and that's it. And then you have the right bottle. Now let me just pull this very short over underneath the camera, and I hope you can see that behind me on the screen. If I put it right, now you see here, all I need to do is check that my rubber seal is properly in, that the inside here is nice and clean. Now I insert that and screw it tight with hand. And really it is not a big thing. Now in case you have a spanner, like I have a very small one here, but what I would do is I put that, it just fits over the top. Now what you want is that thing to go all the way down. So you hold that down and then you tighten that bottle with a bit of grunt, and that's it. And now that's sealed. Now have a look, I turn here the thing to 0, so no pressure, and I open the bottle. And you can see no air escapes. We don't hear anything. And you can see the bottle, let me just hold that in an angle. You can see the bottle is full, 2000 psi, and it's here on 0. So no air escapes. Now if I open that up, you can hear the air down here. And if I close it again to 0, it's sealed. I would still recommend you, and let me just put this back over here, to close your bottle when you don't need it. Just tighten it close and that's it. Now you can use that for a year probably. I would say it takes you a long time to empty that amount of oxygen in a household service. We have 4 people using it, doing daily 3 rectal insufflations, water bubbles, everything, and it's still full after 6 months. So get an annual contract or buy a bottle and then have it refilled once it's empty, because it lasts you for eternity. Okay, that's number 1. Now let's bring the ozone generator back and I show you how to connect that to your bottle. Now when you order the device, you have 1.5 meter long hose. I cut that because I need smaller pieces. I connect one end here to the bottle and you just put that all the way over. Now the other end, we don't put over full, we just put over, and I hope you see it here in the camera, just a little bit. Just a light, tiny little inch. Okay, and why do we do that? Very simple. If I have the bottle here, and let's say I use a syringe, and let's here turn the flow to 1/2 liter per minute. So it's quite a lot of air that flows. Now you see it's already filling because there is still enough pressure from before when I opened the bottle in that connector. So I go and put that over. Now this syringe has a stop. It doesn't go all the way. Now more and more pressure builds up and one piece has to go. Aha. And I like it to be this because this way I don't need to open up the device and repair and fix it. I can just reconnect that at the outside. Again, we put the syringe down. Now we just connect that a tiny little bit over the top, and I hope you can see it now. It fills the syringe, turn it off, press the button by accident, and it pops off. So it's a very simple process. By doing so, I do not have to fix the device internally. It always pops off at the outside. But if I take the pressure off here, nothing happens as well. So you can do that. Now let's just look, how do I use that momentum of having that oxygen flow and turning that into the ozone in a safe way? And that's what a lot of people juggle a little bit and have problems. So let me just show you very easily. I open up the bottle, so I have plenty of flow. I set it to the flow rate that I want, 1/2 liter for the moment. Now I have one finger on the on and off button. Now if I are too slow, it fills already with pure oxygen. Great, but I want ozone, not oxygen. So what I do is I hold it over the top, turn the device on, now screw down, turn the device off, and screw off and turn it around. See, it's a very simple process. Now that's all the oxygen that you need. That's why this bottle lasts you probably for 5 years. Now this is filled with ozone that you can use for your ear treatment. Oh, really nice. Very nice and warm. Again, I turn on the device, screw my syringe over, turn it off, turn it around, and I can use it for my other ear. Really nice. Done. See, it's a very simple thing. You can do that now. Turn the device on, turn it off, and use that for your nasal treatment. Now, I won't do that because then I can't talk to you anymore. See, and if I release that into the room, it's not really harmful. Don't be scared of ozone. You know, in high concentration causes irritation to the lungs. We don't talk about high concentration when we have it at 1/2 liter. That's already just, 23 milligrams per liter, very low concentration. And now the flow doesn't really matter because the device is off. Everything that comes out here, and you can't smell anything, is pure oxygen, but you can see it's still coming because there is still pressure from the device. So don't worry about that, all right? And now let's look at the next step, which is filling your insufflation bag. Catheter, you unroll your insufflation bag and you put it in front of you. And let me just move all these bits and pieces that we still have them when I need them. But for now, we just put this flat on the table. And I hope you can see here in the camera up on top how it works. Okay, now again, you turn on oxygen, hold your finger on the button, screw this on, turn the device on, and now you hold here with your finger at the 200 milliliter so that you fill in ozone into the bag. You want to know when this one is full, and you can see it's inflating nicely. Now, step by step, how to stop it. I take my finger away, I turn off the device, put here a stop at the outgoing so that all the ozone stays nicely into the bag, and I blow it back into the bottom part of the bag, and I disconnect up here. Now there is still, as you can probably hear, yeah, you can still see there is still oxygen coming. So we need to disconnect that system up here because otherwise we fill the bag with unnecessary amounts of oxygen. So again, you turn off, hold your finger here, unscrew, and you're done. So it's a little bit of a training. You'll get there very fast. Now, because all the ozone is at the bottom of the bag, I don't need to clamp or hold anything. It won't go out. Now what you do is, as a next step, you take your catheter, screw that on, and you know it's heavier than air. So if I hold that up and go walking to the toilet, nothing happens. Now I put a little bit of ozone oil to lubricate, put that up, and very, very easy, start rolling up my bag and slowly blow the ozone up my rectum into the colon, where it's then doing its work and transforms and is absorbed into the mucous membrane into the bloodstream. So it's a really simple treatment. Do you want me to show you once more? Very short. Okay, I put it flat down, turn on the bottle so that oxygen flow is on, put my finger over the device, turn it on, screw, hold finger, let it fill. Now it's really just getting this to about 200 ml because you don't get all of it into your colon. It always escapes a little bit. Now the bag is nice and full. I turn off, hold my finger here to seal off my ozone in the bag, push it down into the bag so it's all gone. And I see with my other hand I've already automatically disconnected this part, so oxygen keeps running, but my ozone isn't lost. And again, all this straight away into my catheter, and I start putting that into my colon and blow it out. Now you probably notice here in the room, I still use ozone and I have it. It's not really as dangerous as people tell you to be. I haven't had any kind of coughing, irritation, side effects, even though I play a lot with ozone. So don't be afraid. There is a little bit of a hype going around. Yes, your lungs get inflamed, get infected, but usually with very high concentrations and high intensity. All right? Good. We've done that. Now, we've also done the syringe. Now, what I would like you to show is with water and with your stop valve. You realize you have in your package a little stop valve that has a bigger end and a smaller end. Now, when you take the smaller side into your mouth, you see you can breathe through. Now, if you go from the other end, there is nothing going through. Now, that part is because it's sealed and it doesn't let any liquids go back into the device. So what we do is we take a small piece of the hose that we cut off, connect one of those little lure lock connectors, and you can see them. They just nicely go in. So that's nicely connected. You put that onto your lure lock connector here on the device. Now you take the smaller end, and we push that over the top. See? Now that's nicely connected, and we have the ozone connected here. Now I take my second piece of hose and connect that here at the other end. Now you see it's just cut in between. Now that means there is no way for anything flowing back into the device, whereas oxygen can come out of the device, or ozone, and is distributed. Now there is one thing that you can do. You can connect your bubble stone directly onto here. You just push that over the top, and now you can bubble your water. Very nice, very simple. Take it out, pull the bubble stone off, and instead connect one of those little lure lock connectors. So if that's on, you can use this and screw on a catheter. Now this catheter fits perfectly well into this lure lock, and what you do now is you set the settings to 3/4 liter. You know, 3/4 liter, which is the starting, very, very thin concentration, and you can do a vaginal treatment. And because it all is sealed off, the device is protected, you have no problem for anything going back into the device. Now this is a nice setup for vaginal treatment because you don't have that muscle that holds the air in. You can flush it out and clean all the fallopian tubes, everything, and that's what they do. It's called a female catheter to do vaginal treatments. All right, so that's the ways to create water, vaginal treatments, We've done the ear and infection and nasal treatment, and we filled the insufflation bag for your rectal treatment, and you're all set. That's it. I think we've covered all the treatments. You have all the bits and pieces in your assembly bag, and that makes it very, very easy to do all of those treatments at home in a very safe environment.